Hello again. Thank you for joining us for episode 6 of Rob Loves Stuff. In this episode, we're going to talk about something that Dre and I both mutually love, and that's bluegrass music.
Yeah.
Or some form of bluegrass music Americana. We tend to have differing tastes on this. I think Dre likes modern bluegrass as well, but she tends to stick to the classic stuff, the older stuff, the original bluegrass. My taste is a little more the modern, what they might call avant-garde bluegrass. So why don't you start us off, Drea?
Okay, cool. So you can't get much more bluegrass than talking about Flatt and Scruggs. They originally were in Bill Monroe's band, and Bill Monroe, if people are not familiar, he is considered the father of bluegrass.
Mandolin player.
Yeah, mandolin player. Him and the guy you're going to talk about are actually considered like two of the best mandolin players in the world. So Bill Monroe was awesome. He had the Bluegrass Boys. Flatt and Scruggs were part of that. Then they created their own band back in the mid to late 40s. I can't remember exactly which year. One of their biggest hits is the Ballad of Jed Clampett, which is from the Beverly Hillbillies. Old school bluegrass sound, Flatt and Scruggs is like the go-to. Yeah. Like fast-paced music, usually pretty short and sweet songs. Usually it's only like 2.5 minutes per song, and it's just super pleasant. So they were phenomenal. It's really fun to listen to, and I suggest you give it a go. And like you can see here, like most of our records are things that we found. They're, a little older and they've kind of aged a little, but the records, if you can find them in great shape like these ones are, it's totally worth the few bucks that you can find them for. So it's really awesome. So just give them a go.
Yeah. Flatt and Scruggs are awesome, especially if you're in the mood to listen to something that, you can hear the age in it, right? And it's a time capsule when you listen to that music, but it is beautiful. A modern take on that, the Punch Brothers. So the Punch Brothers are a modern bluegrass band. Yes, they use bluegrass instruments, but their actual genres, the songs that they write, are very much pop influenced, rock influenced, even classical influence. They have an extremely broad musical sensibility. And that's what makes them really, really fun to listen to, because you're going to get something different in every one of their albums. The Punch Brothers have been around since about 2006. They were formed by Chris Thile, who is, in my opinion, the greatest mandolin player alive and probably to ever live. Obviously, Bill Monroe is a legend. He really started the age of bluegrass, and he was an amazing player. But for my money, Chris Thile, the broad range of styles that he can play it's amazing, and he is considered by many musicians to be the greatest mandolinist alive currently. So he started off with a band called Nickel Creek in the 90s. Nickel Creek is also a bluegrass band. They lean a little more to the poppy side. Great band. Nickel Creek is very accessible. They've had a lot of hits in the past. Personally, I think that he kind of outgrew them as far as virtuosity and musical ability, and that's when Punch Brothers came around, circa 2006. He basically built a band with some of the most amazing musicians in their field. Noam Pilkelny, obviously, is one of the greatest banjo players around right now. The Punch Brothers play bluegrass, but it is more avant-garde stuff. It's cerebral music a lot of the time, but, it can be fast-paced. It can just kind of get you up out of your seat, and they put on an amazing live show.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to see them this last summer, and they were amazing live. Chris Thile is also a MacArthur Genius Grant winner. He's that amazing of a musician.
And didn't he do something with Yo-Yo Ma? Right?
Yes. So once again, the broad range of styles that he is proficient in is amazing. He did something called the Goat Rodeo Sessions with Yo-Yo Ma, Edgar Meyer. Just amazing classical recordings. If you ever get a chance to listen to those, he did a recording called the Bach Trios, again with Yo-Yo Ma. Can't remember who else was on it. It might even be Edgar Meyer again. But once again, classical to pop bluegrass to... He can do everything. Punch Brothers, they've got several records at this point. Anti-Phogmatic is their second release. I forgot this on vinyl. Phosphorescent Blues probably has their biggest hits on it. Highly recommend, if you're going to start with Punch Brothers, this is the record to start with. It'll get you in really quick. I like the pop sensibility of Who's Feeling Young Now. This has like hooky songs, and they kind of get a little further out there with the instrumentation. Their newest record, which I actually have at work right now, is called All Ashore, and also an excellent album. Yeah. Really beautiful music. Chris Thile is an amazing singer, an amazing songwriter, and just an overall great performer. If you're into, what some people might call Americana or folk music with just a little more musical virtuosity, these are the guys to check out, Punch Brothers. It will impress you as far as their skill, but they write catchy, super fun tunes as well. If bluegrass can make people, get up and dance nowadays, that's impressive, and that's what these guys do.
Whether or not you like the old school stuff or, you're liking the more modern feel, Absolutely. Give it a go.
Give it a go. Alrighty, well, we thank you so much for watching this episode of Rob Loves Stuff. Punch Brothers, rule. Give them a shot. Flatt and Scruggs.
Flatt and Scruggs, also rule.
Also rule.
All
Have
right.
a great one.
Take care.